I think it's in the past week we have been discussed about the anusaya, and for my personal issues that when I say that my metta hasn't been developing well, I wonder whether it has to do with my own mana or when the angle or whatever I dislike arise, and that make my anusaya just sort of arise too. So I would like you to explain or describe that kind of kilesa. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that it's not just because this or that, but the main root is no understanding of the truth, as not I or anyone. And Panya can understand what is wholesome and what is unwholesome right then, even right now. Right understanding is so very truthful. It understands how much or how little understanding about the word, my ego or self and so on. All comes from ignorance, not understanding what is there as it is. So it's I again and again, even listening, beginning to understand what condition this or what condition that, but as long as the reality, the nature, the characteristic of that is not known, it's just talked about, it's different. That's why I see the misunderstanding of what is now appearing is the only way. Take it for I or something or someone with mana or without mana. See, that's why we learn to understand the truth. Whatever is there is real. It has its own different natures, different conditions for its arising and appearing. That's why learn to understand what is there, little by little. Begin to understand the truth of no one at all. Otherwise, no matter we talk about this or that, it's always something or mine or someone. That's why learning about the ultimate truth. Reality cannot be changed at all. What is there now is there, like seeing now is seeing only. It cannot be ego. It cannot be attachment because it's that which arises to just see, the chief of experiencing what is there as different color. So it conditions different shape and form, long or short, tall or high, and so on, to be taken for something in life, not just only this life. So many lives long ago, years and years. That's why the more understanding of what is there as not self, it conditions the more understanding of its whole unwholesome. And it's the way to let go. Ignorance, which condition all kinds of Dhamma. Avijja condition sankhara, see. Learn to understand the truth, not just the word. When it's just the word, it covers up the truth. Avijja, see now, no understanding of seeing. Condition sankhara, take it for something all the time. That's why just learn to understand the nature, the truth of reality now appearing. That is the only way. Not just to talk about it, to read about it, to think about it, but begin to understand the truth right now, little by little, to be the first round of Arya Satya. Otherwise, how can be more understanding? So people forgot that, and that hearing the truth, hearing the Dhamma, is just to understand the truth, because the truth cannot be changed at all. Right?
So,
That's why
yes,
it
ท่านอา
has
จาร
to
ย์
be so very patient. Why we listen to the teachings, to considering the reality which is now appearing, that it's that Buddha had enlightened. to the truth of it. And what about listening? Just to understand, to let go ignorance, to develop right understanding at moment of understanding what is there, little by little. It's not I who can judge whether it's abstract or not, but understanding the reality, the nature of each one, to understand that it's not the same one or the same kind, because reality is so very, very subtle. Whatever now arises falls away in split seconds, never to arise again in samsara. See, never, never at all. That's why learn to understand the truth, the nature of each reality, not try to judge or compare or think about it with the can I or anyone understand it as much. But the understanding of the truth of what is there, taught by the realization of the Buddha himself. What is the true nature? What is real? What is there? Cannot be known at all if there is no hearing and considering about what is what. For example, seeing. Is there avijja? When there is understanding of what avijja is, so very subtle, then there can be the answer. No need to think about it in order to say whether it's there with avijja or not, but understanding what is avijja. See, no understanding of the truth. How many levels? There's no understanding of the nature of seeing right now. See, seeing sees what? Different things, but in truth, what is seen cannot be anything at all. It's just that which impinge on the eye base, condition seeing to arise to see, with other conditions to experience or to see pleasant object or unpleasant object. That's why learn to understand only, not to judge or not to think that how much understanding I am now having and so on, but just to understand. And the understanding, the reality deeper and deeper and deeper is the only way to let go ignorance of one by one reality which has been considered very carefully. For example now, Buddha taught about many cetasikas arising with citta at different moments. It cannot be known or realized without begin to understand each different one as it is, not as I. So when the reality appears in a day, it can condition moment of understanding it. It's there, that reality, conditioned to be there. Without condition, it cannot be there at all. So learn to understand what is there and learn to understand the conditions for its arising, and a little more to let go doubt about the nature of that reality and condition for its arising and so on. This is the way to let go, not try to let go how or why I can't and I can and so on. That's all about ignorance and I. That's why it's so subtle. Just for the sake of understanding the truth, the only way to let go ignorance and all kinds of akusala. Is that the way you study, Kunrit?
Can you repeat the before that?
I'm talking about avijja, about the nature, the characteristic of any reality to be known, not just to wish to have, how I can have it more or less. See, that is not the understanding, but the understanding is moment of understanding the nature of one reality, to have more understanding of the truth that it is no one, it cannot be taken for anyone. That is the point of studying, not just how can I have less or how can I have more. That is not the way to study Dhamma, because it's wrong way, just for oneself. Again, no understanding the Dhammas, do not belong to anyone at all. It's conditioned to arise. Firmer understanding, firmer confidence of the truth. That's the way to study Dhamma.
Yes, Ajahn. Yes.
Is that the way you study, Kundri?
No, not the wrong way like that. It's
No. Just not to have such idea about how can I have more or less kusala and akusala, more kusala, less akusala. How can? See, no question about how can, but it's the understanding only which can let go ignorance and attachment.
yes.
So the sake of listening is to have the understanding of the truth, and it works its way. It's not I as before, but it's a reality which understand the truth and the way to develop kusala, the wholesome moment, to be the support of parami for less akusala, more kusala, more and more condition for understanding the truth further and further. Is that everyone now study for the sake of understanding only, because nothing can belong to anyone at all.
Yeah.
What about the other? We talk with everyone. If there are any question, please, we can discuss more. We can talk about anything in order to understand that no matter what, it's Dhamma.